Small business owner Bart Wilner casts a big shadow these days here in the Roanoke Valley. New Jersey born and raised in Miami, Wilner earned a degree in business from Virginia Tech. 28 years ago, he opened his own business, Entree Computer Center. Wilner is a board member for a handful of local institutions, including Hometown Bank and the Roanoke Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau, where he is the board president. He's also the past board chairman for the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce. Married with 3 grown sons, Bart Wilner took on a new role recently as executive producer for the movie Lake Effects, filmed at Smith Mountain Lake. Bart Wilner, welcome to the interview.
Well, happy to be here.
First of all, tell us about your business, Entree Computer. How have you survived in an era of big box stores and geek squads?
That's a good question. I don't think we probably have enough time for that.
Yeah.
But really, what we have done with our business is we really focus on small and medium-sized businesses who don't have their own IT staff. So they really use us as the professionals to run their businesses, whether it's a law firm or an accounting firm or an insurance company or a small bank or a contractor or a retail or medical. They need help, and we provide the help. It's not necessarily about the hardware.
Right.
It's about the implementation and the consulting and the ongoing support.
So you found your niche with the business.
That's exactly right.
You're on a number of boards in the Valley, and you were the past chair for the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce. What's your take, Bart, on where the business climate is in the Roanoke Valley right now? I mean, what do the tea leaves tell you? What do you hear from fellow business people?
Well, you know, Roanoke has a unique situation in the business climate in that we don't have high highs and we don't have low lows.
Right.
And so
we didn't have it in the housing market either, which is one of the reasons we're not seeing the swings.
Correct. But the economy's tough. Regardless of where Roanoke is, the economy's tough. Most of the business people I talk to are really into the staying power right now. They're just trying to get by and do all the right things, all the smart things, and be lean and mean and really analyze their businesses, whether it's all different aspects of their business, on the collection side, on the finance side, on their operation side. So it's tough, but people are optimistic and they know that it will get better.
And I know you're currently the Roanoke Valley Convention and Visitors Bureau board president, and I know Lieutenant Governor Bill Bolling was here recently, gave you guys a $50,000 check to help with marketing efforts. Nice little shot in the arm?
It always helps, you know, places like Roanoke, unlike other places in the Commonwealth, don't always get the lieutenant governor or the governor here. So anytime that they can be in our backyard and even just visiting and seeing all the things that we offer the visitor, that's great. And then when they bring a check for 50 grand, that's even better. The award was an effort for regionalism. The CVB, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, is supported by Roanoke City, City of Salem, Roanoke County, Franklin County, and Botetourt County. So that regional aspect to really promote tourism is what the grant was all about. So that's why we got that.
Is it easier to sell the Roanoke Valley these days, Bart? You know, with things like the Taubman Museum of Art going up, more stuff going on downtown, more of a focus on outdoor activities. Has it become easier to sell the Roanoke Valley the last few years, do you think?
Easy, it probably isn't the right word, but the critical mass that is being accumulated is certainly increasing. And you mentioned a few, the Taubman, the new market building, the renovated center in the square that's underway right now. But also the D-Day Memorial, Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia Tech. And you know, our goal at the CVB is to really package the whole community and sell it. And while it's not easy because of the economy and some other things, we certainly have a great opportunity to sell this place.
Speaking of Smith Mountain Lake, I want to talk about your involvement with Lake Effects, a movie which was conceived by Sarah Elizabeth Timmons and shot at Smith Mountain Lake for the most part. You went from a potential investor to executive producer. So talk about being in the movie business and being able to hobnob with the likes of Jane Seymour, the star of the movie. I mean, kind of a wild ride, huh?
Yeah, wild probably is not the right adjective, but I guess your question is how did I get involved in all that? And it all started with a phone call. I got a phone call from Sarah Elizabeth Timmons about 2 years ago. She had moved here from LA. And interesting story is her parents vacationed at Smith Mountain Lake for about 5 years from Ohio. Then they retired here. Sarah Elizabeth was in LA as an actress and a assistant producer in LA for years. She started coming here to visit her parents for holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, summer vacation. Came here as a tourist. She spent 5 years here visiting the place, Smith Mountain Lake, and loved it. And then got this epiphany to do this movie, and bought a one-way ticket to come back to the lake, and moved in with her parents at 33 years old. That in itself is a tough chore.
Sure, it's a movie right there.
Yeah, and but she did that, and then she got overwhelming support from the lake community, the Chamber of Commerce, the people that live there, and all that. Do you need our home? Do you need our boats? Do you need transportation? Do you need lodging? Do you need catering? All that. But then when it came time to actually raise cash, money, she really didn't have any success there at the lake. And so somehow she ended up calling me in Roanoke and saying, hey, you know, I'd like to tell you about this project, which I had never heard anything about it, not even at the lake, and we have a place at the lake. So she came to Roanoke, made an appointment, and we chatted, and she had all the right prospectuses and all the right legal documents to raise money. And you know, I see a lot of deals and a lot of this kind of stuff, and so I didn't just say, hey, where do I sign up? And so I started reading it, and I have to admit, I took it home, showed it to my wife that evening, and she grew up here in Roanoke and grew up going to the lake.
And the movie's all based on goings-on around the lake.
Correct.
Family
and
everything.
Yeah, family and the lake and all that. And Lynn, my wife, read all of this and said, hey, I'd like to learn more. And that entered into another meeting, and then we met her parents, and then we became friends over months. And then we did some due diligence in Hollywood about her and the project, and how can you make a movie for this kind of budget and all this kind of stuff. And then I started helping her along the way, and Lynn and I became the first investors. Then we started hosting some cocktail parties at our house and introduced her to some other people, and we raised the money.
And you've become fairly decent friends with Jane Seymour? Or
well, yes. I mean, she has my cell phone number, and I've got hers, and I get emails from her, and I get emails from you, too, by the way. So, you know, you're right in there.
Of course, I'm not in the movie, but we just got about a minute left. I wish I could talk more about it, but do you see maybe that lake effects will help maybe promote this region more, Bart, as a movie-making area?
One of the things, other than the fact that she was making a movie, and when Sarah Elizabeth got together with me, we had no cast. We didn't have a Jane Seymour or a Scotty Thompson or Madeline Zima or any of the others. But we had this idea, and one of the neat things that Sarah Elizabeth wanted to do was to call everything what it naturally was. Like Smith Mountain Lake is called Smith Mountain Lake, Virginia.
Right.
Tennell's is called Tennell's Store. Bernard's Landing's Bernard's Landing. And if you remember What About Bob, that was filmed here about 20 years ago, while it was great that it was filmed here, if you watch the movie, it's Lake Winnipesaukee.
So you're hoping this leads to more?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it really could. And actually, that might actually lead to some other film opportunities in this area.
Okay.
And we're working on one of those right now.
We'll look for your name on more titles. We're going to have to leave it there. Bart Wilner, president and owner of Entree Computer, and now a movie producer. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Thanks. Our guests today have been Dr. Lorraine Lang, Superintendent for Roanoke County Schools, and Bart Wilner, the owner and president of Entree Computer Center. I'm Gene Marrano. You can look for me in the Roanoke Star-Sentinel, Valley Business Front, and in Play by Play magazine. And you can listen for me on Fox Radio 910 AM's Roanoke This Week on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And don't forget, you can watch segments of the interview online at YouTube. Just search by my name. Until next time, take care.